Hi everyone. So I'm gonna do a quick tutorial of the stamp, and I'm not gonna use this one just because I have to let it dry, unfortunately, and I don't want to smear it, but I want to do a quick video. Now, the stamp placement you're gonna have to look at. What I do is I put it on the bottom of, this is my, help me here, Dreambox Create Room protective mat. It covers the Dreambox table. That way it prevents it from scratches, paint, whatever I decide to do to it. It's self-healing. I can cut on it. And I use this as a guide, but each one of these squares are 1 inch, the darker ones. And then of course these would be 1/4 inch. So I put my face to line up with the bottom and then 1 inch up. So at the 1/2 inch is where the bottom of my stamp goes. And all I do is just press down and the eyes are on. That's it. So I'm gonna chalk that one over there. These I put sticky stuff on the back so they'll stick, just so you can see. But once you cut the eyes out, I have tremors today, so today was definitely a stamp day. And then this would be the muzzle that would go down, and the nose would go on it. Of course it's gonna have ears. It looks funny just because it's just a face, but that's it. It's done. All I do is I take my pan pastels. That has to dry, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I have eyeballs on it. Sorry. And if you're wondering what the sticky stuff is, I use it to hold down. This is a template I use, and this is what I do to trace my eyes onto my faces. And that way they don't move once I have them in the right place. I have them all over, actually. Shame on me. Tons of them. I have a bucket of eyeballs here. For every different piece I make, I kind of save them. But I used a Cosmic Shimmer flake and glitter glue. All I do is I put one small little dab on the eye, about that much, and I let it dry. And it sticks. It can be taken off, removed, replaced. But with the pan pastels, I use a paintbrush, and what I did is I glued around the tip there. That way it keeps a finer tip for me to just go over the eyes. And I just darken around the eyes. Now, the outer part of the stamp here, where the eyelashes come off, that's just a guide so I know where to put my chalk and then where to line my eye up. Now, this is on the flatter side of the paper because it is smooth cardstock. And I'm not doing a perfect job because normally I do put my head a little closer to the table, and I'm trying not to hit the camera. And this cardstock side is the bumpy cardstock. And you're gonna have to play around with the stamp to find the placement because they all cut out around the same, they're all cut in the same position, but I did make a slight adjustment to the ones you'll get. Mine is a little more centered to the right side, so I have to just be more aware. But now that I made a mess with chalk because I wasn't being careful, but that's all right. But this is all you'll have to do. And then you put the whites, the dots in the eyes. Now the eye stamp, the reason why I made them a fixed size, which they measure a little under 0.9 centimeters tall, is because I use 2-inch wide Franklin heads. When I say that, generally with Marjorie Ann designs, that's where I get all my Franklin patterns from. I'm telling you, it's an addiction. I start at 10.0 for the width in Design Space, and that generally puts my head width from cheek to cheek at 2 inches. And that's where the eyes are the perfect size for it. And it was a lot of playing. It was a lot of throwing away product. And I'm talking about the mint, the little stamps. I went through a lot of rubber trying to get it right because I wanted them, as you can see, I have very bad tremors today. It's been really rough today, but I wanted them spaced where they were on the outside of the nose, but a little bit above the muzzle. That way, all I do, like today, stamp them, and I just then chalk the outer edges, put my eyes on, and use my gel pen to put the whites in the eyes. And then I will use the pan pastel white to add the under highlight on the eye. And then I just glue it on, and that's it. It is so easy. And this is the main reason I did these, was because I know we have so many people that are new to scrapbooking, and eyelashes are very overwhelming. Now, they are a digital heat imprint, so they're not perfect. You're not going to see everything I see. And the only reason why one side is darker is because I just re-inked my stamp, and that's why I'm just letting everybody know. You're going to have to play with it and figure out the pressure, and it is going to take a couple times since it's newly inked for you guys. Just kind of dab it on some paper and just make sure that there's no bleeding. But it does work on textured and smooth cardstock. It does not matter which one you use. The only thing is, if you do use textured cardstock, you may have to apply a little bit more pressure. So the only tip that I can give is when you cut out your Franklin heads or your kids' heads, because I use these eyes on my kids as well, I cut out a couple extra just in case I don't like the placement of the stamp. And honestly, I would rather throw away 20 heads than redo 20 sets of eyelashes. Well, in that case 40, because you have 2 eyes. But I tried to make it as simple as I could for everybody, and that's why you're going to see a couple videos up on my page just kind of walking you through it, and it's so you know how to cut out the eyes. Now, the SVG file that came in your email, that's just a backup, and the measurements for that, if you import it in and do it yourself, are going to be different than the one that came through your messenger that you click and you open from your desktop. The ones, if you import it yourself or you lose the message I sent you, that's fine. I will put the width and height in Cricut Design Studio in the comments. The width is 0.9333 and the height is 1.249, and that's just for the eyes. Let me adjust my tripod here and move this over. There we go. Or I can move my laptop instead of doing all that nonsense. There we go. So if you open it right from Messenger, like I showed in the other video, it's going to bring it in at the correct sizing, which 0.933 by 1.249 in Design Space. I'm assuming it should be very similar in Silhouette and Cameo, because that's the height you're going to need. And the height that it's measuring is the white one. It's not measuring 0.933 centimeters. This is an inch in inches, but when I say it's almost 0.9 centimeters tall, I'm referring to the white one. I've been working on Franklin today. I stamped most of my eyes just because it has been quite a day with the shaky hands. I have them all bagged up. I'm just going to ink them. I'm not going to ink them today just because my hands are shaky. But I did at least get this done because this was my goal. That way everybody could see what they were getting. And this is going to make your guys' life so much more pleasant when it comes to scrapbooking. And over time, just practice eyelashes. Trace the eyes, and that's all I do. I've done it that way for very, 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 very many years. And what I do is I trace the eyes. Now you guys get to see my disaster here of shakiness. And to trace eyes, I used a 02, but in order to actually do the eyelashes, I used a 005. And these are the micron. I got them off Amazon. And with the eyes, let me do the other one. I'll do the left one just because that one's a little easier for me on bad days. All I do is I start with just 2 little notches up, and then I do 1 long one, 1 short one, 1 long one, 1 short one, and I just go until I hit the bottom round of the eye, and then I stop and I do my 2 little wisps on the bottom, and then I would just put my eye in it and be done. But I was telling one of the other girls, I have thrown so many heads and eyes and faces away trying to draw them on bad days, you know, to prove myself that I can do it. And stamping, I would rather throw a whole head that's already stamped away from a stamp than do the eyelashes individually. So the only thing that I'm gonna let everybody know is, just to make sure, so you know where the placement is on your stamp, which they're basically all the same, I'm going to let you stamp these, because I don't want to go stamping everybody's things and maybe you have a certain way you want it, to the left more, to the right more, or you want it upside down. I'm not gonna stamp these. You guys are gonna get 2 of these. You stamp them, and you can put one on the top of the block and one on the bottom of the block if you want, or you can put one in the lid and on the back of the lid. It's up to you guys, but that way you guys can also get a feel for the stamp and see the paper. I have one on my top and one on my bottom. Just that way when the cover is off, if I'm using a different stamp for something else, I know which cover, and I don't have to pick it up and really inspect it. I just flip it over and make sure that it's the right stamp. I know I was asked if I'm gonna do the oval eyes. There's something coming up. Marge is working on something, and I'm not going to ruin it. I'm going to wait until she gives us the all clear, and then I'll let you guys know, but it's good news. It's not anything bad. Pan pastels I get from Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can get them from anywhere. The 2 colors I use, sorry about the reach if I bump the table. They're both ultra soft. I just want to, yeah, my trimmers are really fun today. I'm sorry. It shouldn't take me this many times to screw on a lid. Oof. I used the 800.5 black, and then I used the 100.5 titanium white. And the black I use around the eye, and the white I would use in the bottom. It's just for some extra embellishment for me. There, he's done. I used his. So the black goes around and the white is actually on the bottom of the eye, and that's just my preference. Sometimes I do white lines, sometimes I don't. A day like today I won't do because my trimmers are so bad it would look like I was drawing zigzags, or Lord only knows. But any questions, let me know. I hope this video helps. And once again, your refill ink, you can order this on Amazon as well. It's Silhouette Black. The bottle's gonna last forever. It will last you years. Or I used Catherine Pooler, and it was Blackjack, because I have 2 stamps. And honestly, I've used one over the other as it fades off, and I just let it soak like in the other video. I have the next ones ready to go. I'm just waiting on the blocks to come in for those of you that I didn't get to yet, but I have not forgotten you guys. And anybody that didn't comment on the other video, if you do want a stamp, let me know, because I did order 10 extra just in case. I ordered 40 of them, which I can't believe I did that. But they seem to be going a lot quicker than I thought, because I had only ordered 10 to begin with, and I was already out before I even got halfway through the comments. And if you don't want to put anything on a message on here, you can message me directly. I've told most of you guys that. I still have to be a mom. I still have to be a wife. I still, you know, have good days and bad days. I'm going through a lot. I might not get back to you right that moment, but I will get back to you. And it's usually that day. My sleep schedule is sporadic due to the neck pain. If I get a good night's sleep, I'm up fairly early and I only sleep about 4 to 5 hours. But if I've had a really bad night's sleep, then no, I'm gonna lay in bed for half the day until I can take on the world. The cheeks before, these are actually gonna be chalked. I've already chalked some. These are going on my other bears, but I just want to show you guys. Yay. Hope you guys didn't see that. I won't admit to it. I chalk this part of the cheek. I won't use this color on him just because he's darker than a peach skin tone. This is Stampin' Up! Ruby Red. I dropped it, of course, because it was one of those days today. And I've done other videos and have listed these in the comments. I found them on Amazon and I did buy quite a few of them. And I'm going to chalk those a little darker if I was keeping this face, but I'm not. Just because I already have enough faces and I don't need extras. But this is how Franklin Bear will look once you're done and you use the stamp. And then, of course, he'll have ears and a face and everything happy. Let me see here. I can't even move anything today. I am so sorry about the shaking, guys. My hands are annoying me today. So that's what your Franklin will look like when it's done. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following. You can message me, comment on here. I do read all of them and interact with you guys as much as I can. And let me know. Have a good day. Bye.